I've made a couple of changes here at the Humble Road Van Studio. Initially, we were doing 6 to 8 vans at a time. Me, Ron, and John, and now I've got Tom part-time. And it was my intention to hire on a few more craftspeople to assist in doing the 6 to 8 vans. So originally we were doing them scheduled out at 14 months, and it was taking 18 to 24 months to complete these vans one at a time. And I went through about a dozen prospective employees, quote unquote, craftsmen. They were not. It was a pretty depressing and frustrating experience. So what I decided to do, rather than fight this thing, I had a good core group, me, Ron, John, and Tom. So I decided we're going to pull back and we're going to create a small, very focused, targeted, custom van studio where we're only doing 2 vans at a time. We're going to do 2 vans every 6 months, not 6 to 8 vans in 24 months. So that's going to do 2 things. That's going to create a very nice build cycle of every 6 months. So if you want a Humble Road van, you just found out about us, you're planning your retirement, because that seems to be what most of my clients are doing. They're planning a retirement, and some of them are wise. They're doing this planning 15 to 24 months out from retirement. So it gives us time to build a van together. That was a little tangent within a tangent I just went through. So it's just going to be 2 vans at a time, 6 months. What do I do with the 6 vans I got in the shop, you ask? I froze 4 of them. They were in production, their labor payments were being made, and I stopped them, I froze them. And I explained that even though we've stopped production on your vans and you've halted your installments, you're going to get your van sooner than if it was to carry through with the original 24-month plan. So we're going to do 2 at a time, and when those are done, we'll unfreeze the next 2. I had to do this. I had to right the ship. We were not getting the 6 or 8 vans done, and it became a game of get them done, get them done, get them done. That is not what Humble Road is about. Humble Road is about innovation, creativity, and celebrating these big ideas that we can produce these vans for day-to-day living, real day-in, day-out living in comfort, not Instagram-worthy lipstick van builds. These are real, practical, everyday vans. Take it easy now. Don't start bad-mouthing people. Anyway, I'm here today to show you our latest creation that's going out the door. This is the Stallion, and this belongs to Amir. He is a preeminent Belgian Malinois competitor. He's a trainer. He's traveling the country with 4 Belgian Malinois. These are not show dogs. These are competition dogs. These are the dogs that go through obedience training. They got the bite suit. They jump the 10-foot walls. It's pretty serious stuff. These dogs are incredible. The way he's got them trained is just amazing to watch. So 4, these are 80-pound dogs, 4 of them in the van with him traveling the country. This was a tough task to accomplish this and still give him the kind of comfort and practical living experience that we normally do in a van for a solo or a couple. But we did it. We pulled it off. This is a Ford Transit. It's a 350 HD dually. It's the biggest and the tallest they offer. This is exactly the same configuration as the Big Beautiful Beast, which is a van we did for a Florida couple, Yvonne and Danny. So this is the Stallion. This is our first black van that we've done, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning. This van's got 3 awnings. That's right. There's a Fiamma 45 on each side, and then we put a Kamak pull-out awning, a manual awning in the back, a 5-foot awning. The reason for this is those dogs. These dogs are living in high comfort, as they should. So he's gonna have to pull that awning out manually, but we've made provision for that inside. Look at these porthole windows. Is that cool or what? I've got awning bunk windows. Very important. I like to use awning windows because you can use those in the rain. And then there's another porthole window down the side here. And of course, the awnings have their light strip. And as you can see, we put in our spreader lights. Those are all around the van on each of the four corners. And we also have critter lights under the van. Our signature Humble Road running boards, we doubled them up by the doorway so that the dog's paws do not fall in through the cracks. But we left a credit card's worth of space between each of these 80/20 profiles for drainage. Very nice. Let's go inside. We started with a nice cherry front bulkhead separating the cockpit from the living quarters. We figured out a nice way to handle those big ugly blobs in the front of a Ford van. Bondo, sanding, wrap them in fabric. There's two of the four crates. These are the smaller of the two sizes. These are up front, cabinets above. Made good use of this stack up front behind the driver's seat. There's a Max Air fan. You can see our shower track there. Our goal here was a wide open feel and not sacrifice any of the features in spite of the fact that we've got four huge dog crates in this van. Maintain a nice wide aisle. You can see these two crates under the bed. That mattress is an oversized twin at 42 inches. Big foot locker there. Caframo fan. Look at that porthole window. How fun is that porthole window? Here's an awning bunk window. One on the other side as well. Here we're passing over our nightstand with light switches, USB, cup holder, jewelry tray. Plenty of clothing storage underneath. We didn't waste an inch of space in this build. Galley's beautiful. Good lighting, good storage. There's pockets down there behind the splash. Another porthole, gooseneck faucet, galley locker with sliding doors. I'm a big fan of sliding doors. That mattress is a 6-inch organic memory foam mattress. Command Central, isotherm refrigerator freezer. That's for human food. That black panel is a cover to our mega power station. All of our fuses, breakers. Here's our shower box. You'll see what that knockout's about later on in the video with a little night light. This shower box is a great workstation during the day. Your shower curtain hiding in plain sight so it never gets moldy. It can always dry out. Another porthole, 120 volt USB storage. There's storage behind the splash. It's a good workstation, good prep area. Open it up, you got a big shower. Very nice, plenty of room. That's a starboard footboard for drainage. Antimicrobial, doesn't catch any mold. That shower curtain has a chance to dry, always. No mold. Looks like a drape. You get a sense of the shower curtain track there. Got a half door with a latch. Easy in. There's a sump pump under that floor. Takes your shower water, collects it in a bin, pumps it over to the gray tank. Here's a shot of the shower curtain deployed for a shower. It sticks out into the aisle, and those extra few inches into the aisle make a big difference when you're taking a shower. Very comfortable. A lot of elbow room. DC air conditioner. There's Command Central, classic analog panel. Nice big galley, stainless steel sink, filtered water. To the Wilson Art countertop, similar to Corian. USBs everywhere. Beautiful galley. The Ford lends itself to a beautiful galley when you don't have windows. This black panel holds a freezer for the dog's food. Nice open feel. We didn't give up any of our humble road features in this van. It was a big ask. Every van tour starts out up front here with a swivel seat and a lagoon table. And everybody demonstrates the lagoon table. We all know what they are. What is special is how we treat the tabletops. They're different in every van. This one is a cherry 3/4 inch tabletop with an epoxy coating. Very nice, very durable. I like the high gloss. My guys are not crazy about it. They always prefer the natural wood look, but I like the high gloss. It looks clean and sharp. So when we move through out of the swivel seat up front, I'm going to show you these crates. These dog crates are incredible. So here's the deal with these. These are the smaller of the two. Fully ventilated. Obviously, you can see the doors are ventilated, right? And there's ventilation windows, I guess you'd call them, on the back and the side. And what we did is we developed a ventilation system that's thermostatically controlled for each of these 4 dog crates. Let me see. These are meant to be removable, yeah. So Ron designed these and made them up on his 3D printer. They're thermostatically controlled fans. They're DC operated, and we can set them all individually depending on what's going on with each of these. Obviously, we've got air conditioning, we've got a lot of ventilation and heat. We've got the AquaHot system in here, so the dogs will be comfortable all year long. This was a really nice little custom air box that Ron made. Pretty cool. On-off switch. It's you get the idea. So how in the world is this dog going to get into this crate? What's he going to take a running start from outside? How's he getting in here? We developed a system with this pull-out landing pad, okay? It sits between these 2 crates. We separated the stack. We put in our own little landing pad. It's framed in cherry, and there's a non-skid surface on it for the dog. So that dog can now jump up onto this landing pad from the aisle of the van or from outside. But you see, it's cantilevered, right? What we did to solve that problem is we brought over this swing arm. Very simple, elegant solution to a problem. So you pull that out, and this just tucks underneath, ever so slightly. I'm a whopping 163. Rock solid. I can shake the whole van. Simple, elegant solution to a strange problem. And then the bottom crate, obviously, is very easy to get in and out. Again, ventilation all around. Basically, we started by finding the correct placement for these dog crates. We got 2 stacked, and we got 2 occupying the entire garage in the back. Those are bigger crates. He does have dogs of varying sizes and ages, so that's why we can have 2 crates that are one size large and 2 crates that are a little smaller. But Amir was very specific about these sizes, and we were not to go beyond that. Now, we had these crates custom made. Amir works with a company called Rogue, and they specialize in making these dog crates. So we did not have a hand in building these crates. We started by building our own dog crates out of 80/20, and we pulled the plug on that. Amir said he would feel more comfortable having the pros do it. So we pushed that project out. Above these crates, now you have to remember that Amir will be doing his cooking here, right? So he can just turn around this way, and he's got a storage bin. Now this storage bin could be for clothing. It could be a pantry for food. We will see what he uses it for. And then over here, again, while he's cooking, a microwave. It's not in my preferred position, but in a van with 4 huge dogs, this was the best place to put this microwave. Amir's smart. He's adept. He'll be able to work with this. Open the door. Be very careful with your hot stuff. Okay? Yeah, I know. I always want them low or a counter height. Certain concessions have to be made when you're building a van. It's a game of give and take, a game of Tetris. You make one move here, it affects something 3 moves down the road. We've come up with some very good solutions for the blobs in these vans, creating our own headers up front. Beautiful. If you notice, we went with a gray, a dove gray ceiling in this van. We wrapped our stretchers. These are 4-inch aluminum stretchers. Everything's wrapped in gray marine vinyl. That's the stuff that sits out in the sun on your boats. Very durable, cleanable. So up front, he's got one of our gooseneck reading lights over his table. All right, every van's got one of those. As we come around, you know, the avocado shelf started with Irene in the Vagabond van, which was my first contract build, second van build. And this avocado shelf has made it in some form and fashion into every van. Now we put lighting under them. We put a little headbanger pad across the front. We're wrapping them in fabrics. Let me give you a big walk around here, and then we'll get into the details. Again, you got to remember there's 4 crates for 80-pound dogs. There's 2 more down at the end there. See them? The entire garage is made up of those crates, and we were able to get our mechanicals on either side. I'll show you that in a minute. So here it is. Beautiful cherry wood. There's a shower, full shower here, but during the day, it's a countertop. That's right. I'll show you. So the galley's got the drawers that it needs. Here's his induction cooker is in that top drawer. Slam latch. Down here is that massive freezer I told you about. This is a Dometic fridge or freezer. That's where all the dog food is. Then there's another drawer above it. Now these panels here, right here, this panel and this panel, that water tank comes all the way up to here, and it encompasses 2 of the modules in this galley. So what we did, as I always like to do in a build, is access. These panels, do you see what I did, how easy that was? I popped that panel right out. It's on magnets. Stainless steel tank, access hatch. Here's his sending unit, another access hatch. Here's another panel. The magnets. The magnets. Actually, this one you're supposed to take the drawer out. Let me see if I can pop this one from one side. Yeah, there we go. Look. And of course, the end of the peninsula pops out. You see how quick that was? Here's your water pump down here. Access. Access. Splines on the bottom. Make use of that 80/20 channel, right? Boom. Come on. I love this. You could spend a rainy day taking these panels in and out. touch-sensitive dimmer buttons. Controls all the lighting in the van. Most of it centrally located. There are a few other spots where you need to run your lighting. For instance, the bed. When you get in bed, you don't want to come all the way over here to turn off the lights or to change them around. So there's another set of lighting controls by the bed. But these are really cool. All you have to do is touch them and they come on. Then you can press and hold to dim them down. Let me get this out of the way. So this is our light panel, switch panel. We're going to put this in our vans now right here in the galley. We've learned that this is an ideal spot. You could put them on the end cap up here as well. These are just a little easier to get to. You got your water pump switch here. And of course, it's got the red light on it. So you know when the water pump is on. If you went to bed and you left the water pump on, the red light warns you. USB. And then you've got your filtered water. This is the Activa. So you've got a cartridge filter and you've got UV protection. So this thing wipes out 99% of all pathogens. You can cook with it. You can drink it. And of course, we have our prerequisite large sink. I started this large sink craze back in 2017. The new sink is here. Up here is the Aqua Hot control panel. Look at the lens. Up here is the Aqua Hot control panel. Okay, the Aqua Hot makes our hot water on demand. So as long as you have fresh water, you'll have hot water through a heat exchanger. It's gasoline fired or diesel fired, depending on which van platform we're working with. It makes your cabin heat. What's nice about this type of cabin heat is that it is zoned and it is ducted. And it's 3 zones and radiant heat in the floor. Yeah, this van's got radiant heat in the floor besides. Not under the dog crates, though. You got to be very careful about heating up a dog, overheating a dog. I'm happy with the system. You can buy it as an all-in-one, or you can buy it modular and put your components where you want to put them. I've done the all-in-one so far, 3 of them, and the next couple of vans that come through, I may do the modular, so I can put those components where I want instead of dedicating one large footprint to the whole shebang. Although that is something to be said for repair and maintenance. It's all there in one spot. I love this galley. I love what we can do in a Ford van if you don't want a full window over here. So we put in a porthole window, which picks up on the other one across the way in the shower area. Those are opposing one another. Now we've got these nice big deep cubbies and a little shelf in here. We've been able to do some really nice lighting back in here. You've got your storage compartments above. I'm a big fan of the sliding doors. I don't think they steal any space at all. I think they're a much better use of space in a van. You don't have to worry about lifting up or swinging out a cupboard door, right? They're quiet when you drive because we put little Velcro silencers on them. These are made out of a starboard material. And then in the closet here, we have another little fuse panel. Very easy to access. They're all labeled. Most of my electricals are over on one side. I always bring a trunk leg over to the other side of the van, and this is primarily the lighting. Mostly the lighting. I might stick the water pump on there. What else? What do I have in here? The Activa is here. The fans. I put the fans over here. Easy. Easy peasy. Access is the name of the game. You want this to be easy to maintain and repair. You know that song. I've sung it before. On the driver's side here, driver's side of the aisle, we've got this countertop area with some storage behind it. We put in a fiddle rail, and then you've got all this flat storage behind it. There's a little cubby over here, another little cubby. I've got USB and 120 volt. Turn on my overheads. You see we've got a mood light that we can start with, and then we've also got our task lighting. Very nice. Look how cool this looks, this little shape. This black hoop here is the chassis of the van. We always leave that exposed if it's smooth and there's no holes in it for mounting or anything. And in this case, with the black frame of the window, look how sharp that looks, right? So then this countertop, this work surface, is also the shower. See this? The shower curtain is hiding in plain sight. It just looks like a drapery while it's sitting here, and it's not concealed somewhere that it's going to get moldy. It's always out in the open, drying out. So you want to take a shower, you just bring this up and lock it in place, okay? Then your shower curtain is on a track, comes all the way around both sides, extends out into the aisle to give you more elbow room in the shower. You've got a half door that brings you into the shower. And what we did is the shower box, we increased the size of the shower box with a bump out. It gives you more room. So again, well, shower curtains all the way around, so you don't have to worry about anything. The water goes right down into the shower pan. Let me show you what this looks like. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Ready for the helicopter ride? Here we go. See what we did there? We stepped the shower over what you will soon learn is the battery compartment in the van. So the shower box has that bump out, but it creates a huge shower. It's 35% larger than if we just stuck with the shower pan. And we've come up with a really nice system to use starboard as our shower floor. Very nice, easy to keep clean, easy to remove, drains well, total control. That's pretty cool, right? Further down the end of the van, right? We're still in the aisle by the galley. You have your refrigerator. This is a Cruise 115 by Isotherm. He's got a little freezer. And this is for people food, okay? This is for Amir. He's got a massive freezer chest under the galley for the dog food. The dogs get fresh prepared meat dishes that are frozen, stored in this big chest. Fresh water, he's got, I think it's 30 gallons, a stainless steel freshwater tank under the galley. Breaker panel. AC is here, DC is here. I like to use this old analog panel from the boating world. It's reminiscent of the fine yachts on the water. They're still used. And I like it. Yeah, I can go full tilt high tech. Not my style. There's a certain look we have. It's a very organic look. We use woods. Anyway, you've got your Victron system. Okay, you got your lithionic system. There's 640 amp hours of lithium. There is 400 or 500 watts of solar on the roof. We've got a pneumatic cooling 12-volt DC air conditioner. We make our own surround for it, a little bit different proportion than the one that comes with the air conditioner. He's got a massive clothing cabinet over the foot of his bed, right? Coming back through here. These are our security lights out front, and on the sides and in the rear, we've got spreader lights, we call them. So there's two on the starboard side, there's two on the port side, there's two in the rear of the van, and then the fourth switch is for critter lights, which is under the van. Keeps the critters out from chewing your wires and hoses. This is your main battery shut-off. This is an extra switch we put in. We don't know what it's for yet, but when we figure it out, it's there. We do that a lot. We'll run spare wires from either side of the van, cap them off, mark them as spare. 6 months go by, the owner comes back and says, you know what, I'd like to have an outlet. No problem. We put it in. The wire's there. So then down the end of the aisle here, we have access to two more crates. These two are larger. They occupy the entire garage area. You can see this one over here. I took the side wall down so I can show you some of our electrical components that are back there. We had to be very careful about the swing of these doors and where they relate to the cabinetry that we put in place. Make sure that the dogs have enough room to get in and out, like that. There's a nice nightstand down the end here. Some cubbies, nice deep cubbies for storage. And then he's got a nice nightstand tray up here with lighting, USB, a cup holder, everything he needs. So this is that space under the shower that I spoke about. The shower pan ends here, but then we busted out beyond to get a little more room inside the shower box. Our battery comes all the way out to here. Let me show you this compartment. Again, hinged, magneted compartments. So this is all your battery, 12-volt stuff. So you got shutoffs in here. You've got your fuses. We're using the Victron Link system. I've got my 640 amp hour lithium battery in the back. With its shutoff, we got a fuse going to the inverter. I've got a Victron 3000 watt inverter around back. I'll show you that in a minute. These side panels also pop off. These you would want to take out a screw, and you can get this whole panel off to get to more of those controls back there. But I love the way this turns out. It's all right here, fully accessible. I could do any bit of work, any mechanic, anybody that needs to figure this out, change a fuse, whatever may need to be done, easily done right here. And when you put your splined cover back in, splined and magneted, boom, that's it. Now he's got another chest, a freezer chest that he's going to put right here. Again, another reason for this bump out this way. The chest can set right here. It leaves him room in the aisle for walking, and he'll use the chest as a step into the bed. These are all details that get worked out up front in the cardboard build. When you come up from that compartment there, you've got this nice cubby. Again, we've got space. The inverter is standing right underneath this module right here. So why not make use of the top of it? Now, we didn't go all the way up because we have our bunk window there. So there's more storage there. He's got some nice lighting, mood lighting, Caframo fan, right? Then he's got another porthole so he could peek out the back. Another awning window on this side. We gave him a nice night light for reading. He's got a skylight right over the bed. That'll be nice. And the nightstand. Nice bulkhead. I'm telling you, this van turned out so nice. It's a little too cold out to open the door and get a better vantage of this garage. So I'd like to pull back a little further and show you more of it. I'm not doing that. It's really cold. So here's what we have back here. As you can see, the crates take up the whole garage. We made this fold-out platform. This is going to serve a number of duties, okay? Amir can sit on this while he's waiting to be called up for competition. He can open these dog crates and direct these dogs. He's got a place for them to come and step out a little bit and work with them, okay? The other reason to have this, here's those fans again. See, these are those ventilation fans. I think this one's on, yeah. Digital readout, okay? It shows you the temperature that it'll go on, and it'll tell you the temperature it goes off, which is good. That's facing in, so if the dog wants to be a little cooler, he can use his nose and up that temperature. You gotta know. He also needs to stand on this platform to get that awning open up top stairs there. There's a 5-foot awning across the top of the van back here, and it comes out right between the doors. Imagine I could find an awning that fit right between the doors. So I did a demonstration of that on Patrick Botticelli's YouTube channel. It's called New Jersey Outdoor Adventures. So I'll send you over there after this video, and you can see another tour of this van that I did on his channel. You know, I do all my vans with Patrick as well. He's got a playlist of all my van tours that I do with him, and it's a very different headspace. I'm in a different place when I do those tours with Patrick. I really get in the zone of discussing what and why. So it's a little bit different take on the same van. So it would be nice if you watched both. What else you can do with your Sunday, right? What else? Oh yeah, the access into the sides. We literally had 7½ inches of space on each side of these crates to the outside wall of the van. So on this side, I put some electrical components. And how would you get to, now these are components that you don't necessarily need to maintenance or service on a daily or a weekly basis. You would have to unscrew the side of the crate. Okay, there are 12 screws. Bit of a pain in the ass, but like I said, this is stuff that you would not normally need to get to on a daily basis. I've got my solar controllers. I've got a wake speed voltage regulator. We have a second alternator that we installed on this van, so we can charge that Mama Luke with the alternator, with the 500 or 600 watts of solar that's up there, and shore power as well. And again, you take out this wall on either side, and you've got full access to these components. Look at this, wide open. I go in there and do the work on them. So you really want to find yourself a mechanic that's 5'6", 5'7" on a good day.